A very good afternoon to all of you and welcome to a very special edition of Wealthwise with Edelweiss. Special because today we have an industry stalwart and our very own expert on financial advisory, both of whom shall help us better assess the market scenario during this pandemic. Let me first introduce our host, Mr. Rahul Jain, Head of Edelweiss Wealth Management, and our guest, Mr. Ramdev Agrawal, the Chairman of Motilal Oswal Financial Services Limited. Please note that there might be a time lag of 10 to 15 seconds due to network or connectivity issues. Kindly bear with us. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Anaga, and good evening, everyone. The last 3 months have been most volatile and uncertain. I think that is something which everyone would agree upon. The uncertainty surrounding every day in whatever you do, I think whether you do your jobs or your business, the way we lead our life, I think there are also uncertainties surrounding that as well. And I'm sure that our investment portfolios, our financial plans, our planning to achieve long-term goals, all also have come under a cloud of uncertainty. Questions I think which we all are grappling these days is how to build a sustainable portfolio. We all are aware that equities as an investment can create fortunes for long term if you do the right picking. But the question always remains that how to identify such portfolios, sustainable portfolios, how to identify such stocks. And we want to do it on our own. I think it's like finding a needle in a haystack. So we need professional advice. Or we need people who know really well about markets, and who better can be than Ramdev ji, Ramdev Agrawal. Ramdev ji, good evening and welcome to Edelweiss Wealthwise, a webinar series. We are delighted to have you with us. I would start with asking you. So if you see, sir, during end of March and starting of April, I think the whole investor segment, the whole people who used to invest in markets were caught with surprise because of COVID-19 and the resultant of markets post that, and they lost substantial amount of their money in their portfolios, whether it's fixed income, equities. Now in the month of end of May and June, there is seen a sharp recovery in markets, and now people are feeling missed out. So how should we look at our investments in such a scenario where there's a sharp correction, then a sharp recovery, and that too in an uncertain time? So how would we assess that, and how would we navigate our investment such a time, sir?
So thank you very much for this opportunity to talk to all of you. And this is a pertinent question, but equity as an asset class is known to be what you call risky asset class. It is called as a risk investment. Typically, if you see I started my career in '87. So if you see incidentally, the index also started trading from that year itself. The Sensex, though the base is 79, but 79 to 86 was not trading. It was just a back calculation. Index actually was born in '86, and since then it has been trading. So actually, doing the calculation from 79 is somewhat flawed because it was just on a dead data. Actually, index started trading and they kept on changing from 86 onwards. So if you do that, still the long-term return ex dividend is about 13.5, 14% compounded. And if you add another percentage, so you can say 14 to 15% has been the very long-term return. But there is not a one single year when they have done 15%. So, it has been a wild gyration of some year 86% return, some year minus 40%, 50% return. So that's how if you look at the history, you'll be shaken. Today, what you're seeing in 3 months has happened over a little longer period. And in my own history of actually what I've done in my stock market career, if I take a minute, I started in '87. I didn't have any money. In 1990, we just started kind of a membership, so we had some money, say 10, 15 lakhs, and then Harsha Mehta bull run happened. So we made 30 crores in 18 months, and no speculation. No speculation, I'm telling you. I never did any forward or anything like that. but we made 30 because we were buying stocks continuously. Whatever brokerage was coming, I was buying a stock. By the time deliveries to come, it will become 30-40% higher. In 18 months, I think that 18 months had never come in life. You cannot imagine what it was at that point of time. And yeah, and then it crashed. It had to crash because it couldn't have gone on. What was happening was madness. So, but then it is still left 10 crores with us. For our two hostel students, it was too much of money. Even today it is a lot of money, but way back, I mean, for a cup of tea, would talk for half a day. You know, that was the status of ours. From there to have 10 crores, our own office, I said nobody can throw us out now. In any case, there were very few professionals in the market. And then 92 till 98, 97, 98, again, we didn't know what is index, what is index. We never bothered. I don't think there was any index who anybody knew. You know, in the evening you'll get to see what is the price of Reliance, what is the price of Tisco, what is the price of Great Eastern Shipping, 4-5 stocks, popular stocks, and that will set the tone whether market is up or down. But that we never bothered because we never invested in them. That was the kind of thing till about 93, 94, 95. 96, the software came. You know, all this Indian software boom started and tech boom started all over the world. And in next 4 years, the whole market sentiment changed and it became all tech. .com boom took over the world. And in 2000, 2000, when it was peak of the market, I had 100 crores of the portfolio, 80% tech. You know, and I was knowing because I was going to the Buffett seminars and I knew the end is going to come. And again it came. And again it crashed by 65%. So this is a second plunge of 65%. Then 100 became again like 30 crores. Then 2-3 years was very bad. 2002, 3, 4 was very bad. And then mother of all the bull run started.
In 2000.
Mother of bull run, this 2003 to 2008 was unbelievable. That 30 crore became 550 crores. So, you know, what I'm saying is that, and then that 550 crores again crashed to 250. And now this 250 became 1850. So I was knowing something is coming in for the crash. I didn't know COVID is coming. But, you know, so this is the nature of the market. What I'm saying is that this is nature of the market. You never make money in stock market in a straight line. And older you see, and it is not only about me. You see even the entrepreneurs. I mean, look at Amazon today. It is the most coveted, or even Apple, which is now $1.4 trillion company. It was almost bankrupt. I mean, Steve Jobs himself was thrown out and he was recalled later on. So, you know, the businesses go through gyrations of prosperity and this thing, and markets for sure, because markets are about today's opinions, today's price, tomorrow's opinions, tomorrow's price, and opinions keep changing. Businesses are not that much changing, let me tell you. Businesses are doing well, but opinions can gyrate big time. I mean, 2 headlines, 2 murders, and the opinion will be, so the fear of COVID. See, today, total death in India is few thousand, and daily road accidents are, I mean, in normal time, daily road accidents are about 800 death out of only roads. But, you know, the fear of COVID is so total right now, you cannot do anything about it. So once the fear grieves the market, then no rationality prevails. So that is what we have seen today. Number of cases are 10 times more than when we hit the bottom 1 month back. But today nobody is bothered. So the fear is not there anymore. Fear is much lesser of the COVID than what it was 2 months back, when the fear was very intense. As if anybody who gets caught, I mean, you just see the ratio, less than 1% or 0.25% of the entire India's population has been tested positive. Of that 0.25%, 50% are already recovered. Whosoever has, and 98% recovery rates are there. So 0.2% of 0.25%, or not even 0.25%. So you're talking about very minuscule percentage. But the fear is as if, you know, almost 100%, anybody gets caught is going to be killed. So that particular fear kills the stock market. And hence we should be very careful about investing. And you got to bring a lot of patience. You got to bring a lot of understanding in this kind of irrationality. So, and you don't know when it is going to be hit. On 1/1, when we celebrate 2020 New Year, nobody told us, boss, this is the risk, please be careful. Nobody, I mean, markets hit new high in February and March sometime.
Yes.
And you see what happened in next 30 days.
30
So
days.
it is a risk market. Risk will find you. Please try to understand. Today COVID is the risk. Tomorrow some other form risk will come, and it is not going to come in the form in which you will try to anticipate. So you must invest. You must conduct your affair in such a way that even if risk comes, you defeat it.
So your portfolio has to be sustainable in such. I've also seen that Amazon as a stock in its history in 3 times have corrected more than 80%.
Yeah.
So sir, carry on Ramdevji from that point. I get a lot of calls from a lot of investors, and they are very keen on picking on certain sectors like BFSI because they find a lot of value on them because there's been a good correction which has happened. On the other hand, they see that FMCG stocks like Hindustan Lever or Britannia have not corrected that much. And they are very keen tempted to buy stocks from BFSI. We have been telling them that let's not buy stocks because they have corrected significantly, but buy which has future potential as a sector. So do you see that because of this whole COVID, there are some sectors which will now lag behind, some will outperform, or something which you are seeing as an emerging trend in last 3 months, which will be more stronger theme, like technology is becoming big. For example, Zoom, which is now one of the most favorite stocks globally, and how they have captured the Microsoft Teams, what we are using right now, is another different product altogether, which can take the technology completely to next level. So any sector specific you think will emerge out in coming months, coming quarters?
See, businesses are meant for much longer term, and what is popular doesn't work typically. You know, if something is very popular, it doesn't really, it disappoints. Is typically there in the price. Like Zoom, today, I mean, 3 months back, I had not heard this company's name, and today it is a $50-60 billion company. So obviously, what it is going to make in next 10 years is already there in the price. You know, so you have to be very careful. See, stock, a good business, a great stock, a great company, and a great investment these are two different things. See, at the end of it, how much you are paying is extremely important. Your purchase price will decide your return. If you are paid for next 100 years of earnings for a stock, so even if it earns in next 100 years, whatever you have projected, you make a very, very ordinary return, you know. So buying very popular blue chips, you load the entire portfolio with the blue chips. I don't think it can beat the index. You know, so you have to bring superior understanding of the businesses what you buy, irrespective of sector. I can tell you.
Okay.
And superior convictions, particularly conviction when market is beating it down. You must be able to say this stock is down 80%, and this is the time when market will do crazy things. If it is PSU, chalo usko pito. If it is a BFSI, usko pito. Every PSU, every BFSI is not bad. And every consumer company is also not great. There is lot of reality and perception gap. So it depends on your conviction, your understanding, what you know about the company and what the market knows about the company. When there is a gap, that's where the opportunity is. So you have to use your understanding. Always you have to use your understanding, but now more so. Because what looks to be black is not black, and what looks to be white is not white.
Got it.
So this is slightly more uncertain times where things are up. I mean, you see I'm telling you, see, we don't know what the hell is happening in the company. Like Britannia is a good company, but when my analyst told me that in this first 2 months they have done 25-30% more turnover, I said, let's bet it cannot happen. It's a 7-8%, 10% growth company. I thought they would have not sold their biscuits in this particular period. But boom, it comes out that they have done actually 24-25% kind of growth. So you don't know what is happening in the company. The guy who knows, he knows. The guy who doesn't know, don't comment. So you have to use your convictions, understanding of the good businesses. What is a good business run well in the past? they only have a chance to cross through this storm very successfully.
So finding valuable companies and identifying the great businesses, and then sector is not that important. So once the
It
tide
is
turns back,
important. Yeah, in the sense that if the business is doing well, say I would think that telecom is going to do well because now the entire enterprise worldwide is running on. There is no flight. There is no going across. We are not meeting. We would have met somewhere and had nice cup of tea and spoken to all of
agree.
your
Yes,
clients.
yes,
But there's nothing. We are just on the Zoom. So
right.
this is on the on. I mean, this I've never done this Zoom or Microsoft Team. It was there. The software was there, say 3 months back also, but there
Yes,
was no adoption. Today there is a mass adoption. I mean, worldwide there is adoption of this. So, the march of the technology and Nasdaq is all-time high. So, march of the technology, march of the telecom, dependence on this business, pricing power of these companies, requirement of bandwidth, they're all going up. And that is not going up only for next 3 months. I think the way it will be done, even if I sit in the office, I think a lot of Zoom calls will happen from my desk.
yes,
I don't think now we are going to travel to Bangalore or some place just for, talking to 20, 30 guys.
yes.
So I
I
think
think
a lot of things are changing, and that's where you have to see where is the actual opportunity.
the technology, Microsoft Teams are very, very efficient in that sense.
Yeah.
Ramji, any 2, 3 parameters which you think are which an investor should look while picking up a stock or something which he wants to invest for long term? At least 2, 3 parameters which you think जो आपको लगता है कि काफी important रहेंगे?
See, I've been doing research from 87, and I've been writing wealth creation study from 94 onward. So I'm very proud of what we have done there. That is very different from usual things, and we have synthesized investment philosophy called QGLP, and there it is very clearly laid out, and it is open to everybody in the sense that top quality business run by top quality management, that's the Q.
Okay.
You got to have some amount of growth in the business. I mean, I'm not talking about the past growth. I'm talking about now future growth.
Future.
The quality is known from the past. Nobody knows
Yeah.
what is going to happen in the future, but at least in the past they have conducted themselves well. Growth is in the future, and longevity, growth and quality is again in the future. And today, are you getting this kind of machine at reasonable price?
Got it.
If you can kind of synthesize all the 4-5 parameters together, that you can do it actually very quickly when you look at the company. It doesn't require that kind of segregation, but basically top quality business run by top quality management. When the companies are young and small, typically managements are not known in the marketplace. Businesses are still known. I mean, business and management both are not known actually. When the companies are small and if you catch them young, typically 15, 20 years, 30 years is the that period of young adulthood of the company when they become from 100 million, 200 million, 500 million to 10, 20, 30 billion dollars. And this is the economy where these kind of things happen very often. Like an HDFC Bank in 96, you could buy for 1,000 crores entire HDFC Bank, 100% of that. You could buy entire Infosys in 94 after listing for 200 crores. And you see what has happened. And it's not that I'm saying this looking back only. I mean, people have participated, we have participated in them. So because this is a very large growth economy. I mean, right now we have whatever little challenge, but I'm sure it is going to be a growth economy. And in that, there are a lot of growth entrepreneurs and enterprises. So we have to spot them at right time, looking at these frameworks. And I hope your strike rate is going to be good. See, what is important is the strike rate. Nobody gets 10 out of 10. I can tell you this. You will have your share of mistakes, and for sure you will have. Otherwise, you are God or you are telling lies. You are going to get your mistakes. I mean, I would say if you get 6 or 7 out of 10 right, you are home.
I agree. So great companies, great management is important to figure out companies, and they should show future growth. Ramji, another question which a point which is now grappling with people is that since we are opening up the country and also we are seeing COVID cases going up, And also we are aware that now we have to live with COVID going forward. As we open up more and suppose we see a second wave or we see a more the cases grow at a more faster rapid pace, do you see that this can have some impact in market in the assessment in coming times, coming months? Because this is something which is grappled by everyone. So a lot of clients call me that whether I should invest. He feels that the cases will go up, and once it goes up, the things can become more worse, and the fear can grow manifold. That is what people are thinking, and that is what people are उनके दिमाग में काफी चल रहा है point. So what आपका क्या thinking है इस पे? What is your belief in this? That how would it stem out of it the second
Anything
wave?
can happen, I'm telling you. Bets off on this. I mean, there can be a second time coming back. There can be third time coming back. There can be a... See, the issue is that markets will be impacted by the spike in the fear.
Yeah.
And whether it will spike or not, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Because people may say that, okay, boss, matlab, we have to learn to live with this. I mean, initially, if you remember 10-15 days back, there was too much of talk about vaccine. Australia is coming out with one, UK is coming out with one, US is, now there is no talk. Suddenly, it has all died down. I don't know what has happened suddenly. It's not that labs have stopped working, but that hope, source of hope is gone. And now people are learning to live with this virus. New Zealand has yesterday declared virus-free country.
Virus-free country, yes, they opened up completely.
This country declared that. They've opened everything except for the overseas landings. I mean, the whole country is running smooth. So I think it's an unknown kind of situation. I hope things don't worsen here. But still, you must conduct yourself. See, the point is, if you are trying to time the market and you say that, I mean, I don't think the people who are asking this question, they are concerned about the COVID itself. They are worried about their portfolio. And they don't want to see lower price. They don't want to see lower price. And let me tell you, the prices can go to lower levels not because of COVID, but something else altogether. You should always be ready to see 50% decline from any level. आपका 100 का 50 हुआ, 50 में भी चांस है कि 25 हो जाएगा. So you should be comfortable staying invested long term. See, it is like, see, one of the things is that I run Motilal Oswal, and I have seen outside analysts, nobody asked the right question. You know, so the point is that the understanding of the companies by the outsider is very limited. And they're driven by a lot of story, you know, narratives. Ye ho jayega, wo ho jayega. You know, I mean, but real business are real businesses. So what happens is the price moves by the perception, short-term perception. As I said, today's opinion is today's price, tomorrow's opinion is tomorrow's price. But what I'm holding, long run, if it makes money, if my 100 crore profit company goes in next 10 years to 1000 crores, किसी का माई का लाल है जो रोक नहीं सकता मेरे को to make it 10 times. Either it will go to 12-13 times or it will go to 8-9 times. But I will make money. That's how we have made money. But trying to figure out that tomorrow will there be, I mean, how the markets will work basically. You're trying to find the bottom of the market. वो कभी मिलेगा ही नहीं आपको. और वो यदि मिल गया आपको, यदि आपके पास कोई फार्मूला है मिलने का, then you don't waste time on this. I mean, then you have the biggest magic wand, no?
I know. I think patience is the key, and sticking to your story and understanding your fundamentals of the company is very, very important. And sticking to it.
See, आपकी समझ कैसी है? See, you must not allocate in the equity portfolios. You must buy only as much you can digest.
I agree.
ये क्या बहुत indigestible चीज है equity. Because I am made up of equity, so I can digest 100%. But it is not everybody's cup of tea to digest 100% equities volatility. You know, so as I said, I'm thick-skinned. You know, I mean, 3 times I've seen 65% correction. 4th time I'm ready. I'm waiting. So let it be over types.
So that's why we normally keep speaking about asset allocation. That anyone should not invest 100% into equities because if or leverage, people leverage also over that. So that becomes
equity में तो leverage करने का मतलब उससे बड़ा कोई पाप ही नहीं हो सकता है. I mean, you are going to be cleaned up. I mean, there has to be very few, 1 or 2 masters of leveraging equity and is still coming out, kind of wealthy. But I would never advise anybody to leverage equity fundamentally.
So most of the people which I have also seen in pain in last 3 months are people who are either 100% equity and they were not meant to be 100% equity, or they were leveraged. Otherwise, people who had the right asset allocation were able to weather the storm very easily, and they were also picking or their own stocks which they like when the market was going down. Actually, as what you said, I think that is the right way to invest, where you have conviction and keep buying when they're correcting. It's a great opportunity to buy.
Yeah.
Randeji, one more point which you wanted to ask, and I'm very intrigued to understand about the same. Since you have been in markets for now 3 decades, you started in '87, and so I wanted to know that have your investment strategy changed over last 30 years, or it has remained the same? Because when I speak to a lot of people, I think they keep changing. But how has been your understanding on the same? How has been investment strategy over the last 30 years? If you can give some insights, and they'll be very helpful for investors.
Just one sec. Yeah. Yeah, so it has evolved, I would say. Over a period of time, it has definitely evolved. And you don't start as a young guy in the stock market with QGLP framework. Neither you have one. So you start with like anybody, and you are very passionate. You try to, so you use whatever tools you have in hand. You studied something as CA, chartered accountancy, so you understand some ratios and something. So you start like that, and you start committing mistakes. You start paying your tuition fees, and you start learning. So finding the guru early in the market, early in the game is very important, because stock market is not taught anywhere. At least when I'm a chartered accountant or something, some little bit here and there. In MBA, they'll tell you something, but it is not taught in a structured fashion, like a open heart surgery or a architecture. It's being taught. Stock market is not taught, nor it is teachable. So the issue is that you have to learn it yourself, and for that you need a lot of passion and perseverance in the marketplace, because you will be given big blows, 60% correction, 70% correction in your portfolio, and yet you have to get up and start running like a small kid. So that's how everybody does. And I started, so my first breakthrough in real improvement my strategy was knowing Buffett. So when I read his letters, that changed, that kind of gave me a good, earlier it was Peter Lynch, whose books, whose writings, that was, Phil Fisher,
Okay.
Phil Fisher, this thing, and Peter Lynch, both. So these guys, they were kind of a early, impact. Then Buffett had a huge impact. And then we started doing our wealth creation study, and then internet and everything came. So Buffett had a huge impact, and our wealth creation study had even more impact. And finally in 2014, I said, let's code our philosophy. And that was QGLP. So, but buying into quality companies, that started, Buffett gave me buy quality companies, buy fewer number of companies. I had 225 companies and 10 crore portfolio in 95. That I reduced to 15 companies in 96 after reading Buffett. So that's how you have evolved over a period of time.
Very interesting. So having limited number of companies and having good companies is very important to build a very high quality portfolio.
Yeah, because ultimately in stock market, you make money because of compounding. Yeah. And compounding, see, if there is no compounding, there is no money in the market. Because when that small company grows to become very large, like one Amazon, you get 1% you allocated in Amazon at the beginning, you are done.
I agree. Yes,
yes. That's why Amazon put, Jeff Bezos put his 100% into that Amazon. So he's the richest man. And even if you put 1% in your portfolio, you'll be mini Bezos, So biggest money in the world is made only by the single enterprises. It is not by the diversified portfolios. Only Buffett has made serious money. Who else has made money?
I agree.
Otherwise, everybody is the entrepreneur themselves. And they made money not because they're smart guys. They're very smart in their business, not in stock picking.
I agree. Cool. Thank you, sir. Sir, before I go over to the question from the audience and a lot of investors want to ask, my last question to you, and since I am very keen to ask, since I'm sitting in front of the market legend, the 3 stocks which you want everyone to have in their portfolio for long term, like 95 से जैसे आपने स्टोरी सुनाया और जिसमें एटलीस्ट 65% भी करेक्शन है तो they should be not worried. What are 3 stocks which you recommend or which you advise which everyone should hold in their portfolio?
What's your name? I forgot your name.
Rahul Jain.
Rahul. This is not very fair question, I'll tell you. Because we don't know, say we have in most of the portfolios, and my own, now I only own mutual funds. So when you build a portfolio of 20-25 stocks, you don't know which 3 or 4 stocks will be multi-bagger.
Fair point.
See, every time I buy the stock thinking it is going to multi-bagger. My highest conviction stock in last 12 months have slumped maximum. So you don't know, but after 10 years, we'll know whether it is a multi-bagger or not. So when you buy, I'll tell you a story of multi-bagger buying.
Yeah.
Bharti Airtel in 2003, 23rd Jan 2003, you can go and check the call notes. There was a quarterly call and Sunil Bharti Mittal came in the call and said, we have broken even. Okay. And stock which had come 1 year before at 45 rupees was trading at 23.5, half the rate.
Yeah.
I put the phone down. I went to the Excel sheet, built my model, earnings model. And next 5 years, I understood the business so well that I personally did the Excel sheet. And I calculated the profit in next 5 years, how much it is going to make. As per me, the company was supposed to make 28,000 crores profit. That day itself, I calculated that. And the company was in loss at that point of time. And the company was a hell of 5,000 crores. You could buy the entire company. So when I bought the company, I bought a Sawa Lakh share at 24.25. By the time it was 30 bucks, every single well-wisher of mine, they pulled my hand and they said, Ramdev, this stock is not for you. And out of good wishes only, they made me sell. I sold 1 lakh share. I said this 25,000 shares are my profit and I'm going to keep it for much longer period. You guys don't understand this. Before it was too late, it was 35, 36 bucks. The momentum was massive. It was almost doubler every quarter. So then I realized these guys, they don't know. Let me just buy some more. I bought 10x. The stock went to 90 in 3 months, 4 months time, 6 months time. You see the chart. It went to 90. Then my analyst left and went and joined Arcom. That guy started threatening from there. Reliance will kill you guys. Bharti and all. So I said, let me just take half the profit. Otherwise, the whole damn thing will go away. I sold my half the position. The stock came to 87. And from 87, before ink dried, it went to 150. I again went 5x in my position at 150. The stock went to 1180 in next 3 months or next 6 months. This all happened in just 2 years time. And then Motilal came to my cabin. He asked me, Ramdev, abhi bahut ho gaya, abhi bhej de. I said, abhi to kahani chalu hui hai. Little I knew that there is going to be a 2G scam. Yeah. And then we sold at half the price at 650. So still I made 50x from 25 to 650. But I could have made, I made 25x. We could have made 50x. So these things happen. You can never figure out what is that multi-bagger. You have to just you have to go by the process and keep buying, keep accumulating stock. And when things happen, then you should be able to build it.
Okay. And again, now Bharti Airtel has become darling of markets after this
Yeah.
whole consolidation which is happening.
So our own darling. But what I'm saying is that when you discover a stock, the stock walks into your portfolio. You don't know. I bought this one, Aisha. I bought it Aisha for the truck sales, and what worked is Farfatia. So in businesses you don't know what is going to do well. I mean, companies at times you also become lucky. Perseverance and luck. You need luck also a little bit to make money in the market, and sometimes there is a hard luck also. Process. See what is a hard luck and what is a good luck. When your process is right, still you get a bad stock. That's a bad luck.
Hard luck.
Hard luck. And
Yeah.
when your process is bad and you get a good one, that is called good luck. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I believe in this thing. I will do my process right and wait for the best.
This is very helpful, sir, and I am sure that we all will follow the same, learning from you. One of the questions from audience which says, and I find it a little interesting, will humans stop chasing short-term chases and think of long-term, both in life, in markets, because of whole of this COVID crisis, because you've seen so sharp corrections happening and the whole fundamental goes for a complete change in such a short period of time. Do you think will that happen?
I didn't get the question. What are you saying?
Question says that will humans stop chasing short-term?
अरे कुछ नहीं बदलने वाला है. कुछ नहीं बदलने वाला है. It will become worse. I can tell you this. Because patience है ही नहीं. Patience is becoming. I mean, everybody is becoming, because why the problem is everybody knows the price. Nobody knows the value. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Even today, if you start investing in understanding value of a company, and it's not a rocket science, let me tell you. I mean, it's not about theta, gamma, and all. It is about understanding at what price typically this company can be sold. If you start focusing on that aspect of it through PE multiple, through price to book, through replacement cost, through comparative valuations and this and that, I think you get some approximate valuation. But nobody focuses on that. Everybody is trying to figure out where is the price going to be. So instead of watching the roots, you're looking for the fruits.
Yeah, they're too impatient of getting the fruits fast. That is the whole thinking.
We are very fruit focused. Yeah. But I also want to be fruit focused, but nahi banta na wo. It will not work.
I agree. Also, one of the things what people grapple is that how to identify a company with great corporate governance. What is the mechanism for the same? How आप कैसे उसको देखते हैं?
ये थोड़ा टफ सब्जेक्ट है, बट बदमाशों को बाहर रखो, मतलब यानी नॉन बदमाशों को मतलब क्वेश्चन मत करो इसका कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस अच्छा है कि नहीं करे. It takes 20-30 years to earn reputation, and it doesn't take any time to. So if some corporates have reputation, they have reputation. If you go in grapevine and just talk to few competition, trade guys, bankers, auditors, they will tell you what they stand for. So that's how you make it. I mean, that's how you go about it. And if you find the evidence contrary to that, then you have to take a walk.
Got it, sir. I think it's a very good advice. Another question which also is intriguing everyone: what is supreme, liquidity or fundamentals? And everyone is thinking that in the current scenario there is a big disconnect in the real economy versus what is happening in the markets. And it is a common saying that liquidity comes first, then fundamentals catches up in the pricing of stocks. How do you will assess this, Ramdevji?
I think, see, at some level it is intermixed, but basically in a lot of situations are there because of the small size of the company or something. Liquidity is not there in initial stages. When the companies they start meeting the success slowly, at that time there is no liquidity. I mean, there is no, because there are not that diversified as shareholder base, and nobody is aware of the development in the company. So liquidity is low. Number of shares traded are 10, 15, 20,000. And then when the same company is very successful, more institutional buying happens, more diversified portfolio happens, people start chasing the on call, then the liquidity builds up. That's, I mean, the buildup of the company, popularity buildup of the company, knowledge of the company increases, size increases, and the liquidity also increases. So at times, the best of the values are found in most illiquid shares. But then it becomes very difficult for any particular institutional investor, because the risk manager will tell you that it is going to take 5 years to get out of the stock, and hence you will not buy them. I mean, or you will buy very little. And that entire risk calculation by my guys, I said if I am running 10,000 crores, then my risk is 10 times more than the guy who is running 1,000 crores. So I mean, this liquidity is a crazy kind of situation, but for an individual guy who is running, say, few crores, for him, there's liquidity. I mean, I never bother as an individual investor. What is liquidity? How does it matter?
No, but sir, but this question is pertaining that the whole right now markets is going up because there's a lot of liquidity flush which is coming from FIs, and the fundamentals are not there. So, for example, there are a lot of companies which will still not open up post-COVID, but the stock has still run up and there has been significant recovery. That is the question which is there.
राहुल, जो समझ में आता नहीं करने का, दुनिया में बहुत सारी चीजें जो समझ में आती, क्यों मरने का मेरे को? जो समझ में आता वही करो ना.
सही बात. Got it. Sir, the last question, and this is something which is coming in everyone's mind, and everyone is asking that, what is your view on gold as an asset class? Is it from asset allocation point of view? Do you think it's a good hedge from a certainty point of view, or just rakhne ke liye rakho, otherwise you can skip it also?
Yeah. See, I've never bought ever in gold. Never. I always ridiculed gold holding. And Buffett finally, I think 8-10 years back, he wrote about there are two types of asset classes. One which earns something and one which doesn't earn anything. Gold is a kg of gold after 100 years also will remain a kg of gold. It will not become 10 kg of gold. Whereas, I mean, inflation adjusted, you look at anything, it will earn something. Say your businesses will earn 20%, 30% per year, or bonds will earn something, or if you have a piece of land, farming land or something, they'll keep growing, keep giving you 10, 12%, 15. So earning asset and non-earning asset. So gold is non-earning assets. It's a concept, I would say, where it is an inflation hedging kind of a stuff. So if there is a very huge perception of inflation, but I'm surprised by the performance in last 10 years. The gold has, I think, probably, or maybe I'm surprised by the bad performance of the equities compared to gold. Gold has done, I think, almost as good as equities in last 10 years. So that's quite commendable. But I don't understand this asset class. I would not put any significant amount of money here.
Okay. Sir, but just last question. Sir, they say, one of the audience have asked, they say thousands of foreign manufacturers will shift their manufacturing in India because of all this diversification of China. Do you think this will really happen in coming months and years?
It will not happen because we want. It will happen because the customers want. See, software boom happened in India despite all the difficulties, not because we wanted to make it to happen. I mean, our government, nobody knew what the hell is this, but it happened and now it becomes software power of the world. It was not by design. It is because the world was comfortable working with us. They found value in us. They found English speaking, cultural match, and flexibility, hardworking. So those things they found in us. So they came for software here, but for manufactured goods, they went to China. But today, if they want to come here, even at 10% higher price, we want made in India level only. I mean, we want to make it, get it done from India. Then of course it will happen. I mean, our tax rates are now very low. I mean, government is trying to do everything, but yet it doesn't fly.
Yeah.
So it also depends on what the world wants, you know. And my sense is that it could be point of time when world wants, and China itself, you know, because it is developing so fast, their labor cost is going up very fast. Their demographics are not in their side, and the GDP is growing at 6-7%. So their low cost labor is not there. I mean, I think our their labor cost, dollar terms per hour, is almost double of India now.
Double of India, yes, exactly.
Yeah, so as it starts growing, India will be a natural habitat, I mean, natural place where low cost manufacturing will happen. Probably China itself is outsourced from India. Forget about West importing from us.
It's a very different perspective. A lot of the people still feel that the whole setup is so difficult to execute in India that it might not happen in future.
You throw, I mean, I keep telling guys, throw the profit and everything will happen in India. You know, you create demand, you create profitable demand, and आपके छत के ऊपर वो मतलब फैक्ट्री लगा के वो आपको डिलीवर करके जाएगा वो, ऐसे एंटरप्रेन्योर है यहाँ पर. So there is an amazing, positive side of the entrepreneurship in India. You got to show profitable opportunity, and they will not disappoint you.
Very different perspective, Ramdev. Ramdev ji, before we close out, any closing remarks for our audience, our partners? Anyways, the last 1 hour has been very fruitful. There were a lot of very interesting piece of advice: how to invest, how to manage your patience, which is the most important one, and how to be ready to get a cut of 65% in your portfolio. A very different perspective. Any closing remarks, sir?
Don't try to time the market. I'm telling you. And मेरे बोलने से कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. So I'm telling you, don't try to time the market. You'll never get it right. I guarantee you, you can write on a piece of paper and open it after 3 months. You'll get it wrong. So what I'm saying is, don't sweat too much about the market. Do what you understand and take only that much risk which you can digest. And be ready for 50% decline from any price you buy.
Yeah, so that is a very interesting piece of advice. Be ready to take 50% cut from where you buy.
Yeah, because once you are ready for that, then market का काम क्या है? आपको डराने का. उसका काम है सिर्फ डराने का आपको. He will test your conviction. So bring your conviction and come with a firepower. And you say, boss, तू कुछ भी कर ले, मैं हटने वाला नहीं यहाँ से. I'm like a Nandi Baal sitting in the temple, you know. दिन रात 24 घंटे में बैठा रहूंगा.
Thank you, Ramdev ji. Very insightful discussion. Thanks for taking out time for us, for our customers, for our partners, for our people in the organization. Thank you very much. Over to you, Anaga. Thank you, sir. So
thank you. We can close it out?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is it done? Or we have anybody coming and closing it officially? It's done?
Yes, sir. Done.
I check out?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.